Welcome to LoadMaster. Today we'll learn how to pallet the goods first and then load it into the container in 2 steps loading. Now let's have a case study. Here is the cargo data and the loading requirements. The cargo cannot be placed and the length is vertical to the ground. Calculate how the goods are packed on the pallet, what size pallet is used, and what size container is more suitable, and use how many pallets and containers to complete the loading. The height limit of the pallet is 1.1 meters, including the height of the pallet itself. According to the current loading requirements, the test type 2 steps loading should be selected. Now we enter the basic information. The items in this page is optional. The users can enter the PO number and order number, etc. for later check. And then we come to next stage, add cargo. First, we should click Add Cargo to get the Excel template. You can see that the template is downloaded here. After finishing, we open it. First, we should click Enable Editing, and then save this template into a certain position in your computer for later use. Here is a template description. You should read it carefully before filling the template, and then you can delete or remove it. First, we should copy the cargo information into this template. Pay attention to the matching of the size unit. The weight here refers to the gross weight of single carton or box of goods. If the cargo is too light, the weight can be ignored and not filled in, and the system will default the weight value to 1. Then we should define the load orientations of the goods. For it is required that cargoes cannot be placed as the length is vertical to the ground. That is, lay and lay rotate are not allowed. Therefore, we should fill in 0 in the allow column of these 2 orientations. 0 means not allow this orientation, leave it blank, or fill in 1 means allow this orientation. Next, we should define the properties for loading. For the goods are required to be palletized and then loaded into the container. Therefore, we should set the parameters under 2-step loading. The intermediate packing method should be set to 1. 0 or blank means that the goods are directly loaded into the container. 1 means that the goods are free to choose the appropriate pallet or carton. 2 means that the goods are loaded with the designated intermediate packaging. For there are no other requirements, we do not need to set other parameters, leaving them at the default value. Save and close the template. For the details of other parameters can be found in the guidance documentation. Now we're back to the cargo interface. Click Add Cargo, import from Excel. We found the template we just filled in and double-click it. Now all the information of cargoes is imported into this task, and then we come to next page and container. For the user does not know the type and the quantity of container that should be used, it is necessary to add all the commonly used container types so that the system can select the most appropriate container from such containers. Click Import from Database and check the commonly used container types. Then we should add the size of corner casting and the reserved size. For this case, it's pallet loading. The height reserved size should be set to 10 centimeters in order to facilitate the forklift operation. Therefore, the 10 centimeters of container corner castings are also deducted. Therefore, the size of corner castings does not need to be set. Now we come to next stage, add intermediate containers. If the user does not know the type and quantity of pallets that should be used, it's necessary to add all the commonly used pallet types so that the system can select the most appropriate container from such pallets. Click Import from Database, and then find and select the commonly used pallet types. Then we should add the maximum load height of the pallet to 110. Next, set loading rules. For there is no special loading demands, we needn't change the default rules in this page. And we can come to next stage, set intermediate loading rules. There is also no special loading demands, and we needn't change the default value in this page. Finally, click Optimize to calculate. According to the container list on the left, we can see that this batch of goods used 140 GP in final loading stage, and in intermediate loading stage, there are 32 1200 multiply 1000 pallets and 10 1100 multiply 1100 pallets. You can click the container name to see the three-dimensional loading diagram of each container. On the right side of the diagram are the cargo statistics, loading steps, and the balance analysis of the current container. After the scheme audit is completed, we can click Share Test to get the on-site loading by mobile platforms, and click Generate Loading Report to download the tables we need to make the packing list and custom declaration. More details, please refer to this guidance documentation. Thanks for watching. See you next time.